Whoa, what's going on? This has got to be one of the craziest weeks in the stock market ever. What's up guys? Jay Graff back at it again with another investing video. Today I'm going to be going over my Robinhood and M1 Finance portfolio's performance. As you all can see here, I'm in the Robinhood app. And something kind of weird happened today. The app was actually down all throughout the trading day, and it was actually down until about 30 minutes to an hour ago, around 7:30. So it's been kind of weird not being able to use the Robinhood app today. And when I finally got it working, I was pretty shocked to see that my portfolio is up 4%. This past week or so has been a wild ride. Last week we dropped down, I believe it was almost 10%, and then in this one day my portfolio has made up 4% of those losses. So pretty crazy week or so, but I'll go ahead and show you all how my portfolio has been doing. So like I said, I'm up 4% today, which is by far the biggest gain in a single day that I have ever had. In fact, I actually heard that today was the highest point gain in the Dow of all time, which is pretty crazy to think about. This past week, I'm still down 4% because last week was a pretty rough week for the market. This past month, still down about 4.3%. Over the past 3 months, I have about broken even. This past year, still doing all right, up 8%. And all time, still pretty happy with my gains. I'm up 15%. So we'll go through some of these stocks, and it just still blows my mind how the gains that we've seen today. I did not expect it at all. If anything, I thought the market might continue to go down. I'm not entirely sure why we had such a big jump today. I do think the sell-off last week was a bit exaggerated. I think people kind of jumped the gun on it. I think there are some legitimate concerns with the coronavirus, but I think as for the most part, the U.S. economy is still pretty strong, and I think stocks will do pretty well here in the future. However, I do think for the short term, we are going to see some weakness in the market due to the impacts of the coronavirus, especially on manufacturing companies, especially those who have production facilities in China. So Visa had a pretty big gain for me today, up 5.8%. Geo actually went up 12.8% today, which is a huge jump. My financial sector ETF went up over 5%. Verizon Wireless did pretty well for me. So did Paychex, Procter & Gamble. Seeing pretty good gains across the board. Let's see here. The Standard & Poor's 500 ended up going up 4.33%. I'm now doing pretty well on that position again, up 10.7% all time. Pretty much every stock today saw some pretty good gains. The only stock in my portfolio that was actually down today, actually I had 2 stocks and 1 ETF. I had Omega Healthcare Investors, which is a real estate investment trust. I had Square, not sure why they went down. And then my Treasury ETF went down, which makes sense because as stocks go up, usually the Treasury ETF goes down. So today I did receive a dividend from Welltower, which was reinvested, and I received a little over 1/100th of a share, which is not a whole lot, but hey, it's something. I also was supposed to have my Standard & Poor's 500 high dividend, low volatility fund reinvest its dividend today, but I guess because the Robinhood app was down, it wasn't able to do so. It's kind of a shame. Usually in the past, they reinvest that dividend pretty early in the morning of the day after you receive it. So I probably could have gotten it around $38, which would have been a pretty good deal. But that's okay. Fractional shares and dividend reinvestment for Robinhood still is in its beta testing mode. So I knew when I downloaded this feature that it may not work perfectly. So I'm not not too upset with it. Energy transfer jumped up quite a bit. The energy sector had a pretty good day today. My ExxonMobil ended up 4.7%. Merck did really well for me. Merck's a pharmaceutical company. So yeah, pretty crazy day in the stock market. Pretty crazy week in the stock market. Where do I see the market going from here? I honestly have no idea. The fact that the market went down so low and then jumped up back up so high is kind of telling me that people are having a tough time accurately valuing these companies. And man, it's just crazy. So with that, I think I'm going to go ahead and jump into my M1 Finance portfolio and show you all that. So here we are in my M1 Finance portfolio, and this portfolio is made up entirely of dividend stocks. I've actually been investing into this pretty heavily as of late as the stock market has gone down, because when I invest in these companies at a lower price, it means I'm going to be getting a higher dividend payment. So I wanted to take advantage of this dip that we've had in the market to pick up some more shares of these companies that I really like. So this past trading day did phenomenally. I was up 4.5%. Over this past week, I'm still down about 5.3%. This past month, I'm down 5.5%. Over this past quarter, I'm down 5.4%. And over this past year, which is going to be the same return as all time since I started this portfolio back in July of 2019, I am down 4.3%. So this portfolio definitely took a pretty big hit over this past week. I remember at one point, I think I was up around 10 to 12%, and now I'm down 4.3%. It doesn't really bother me too much, because all it means is that I'm going to be able to buy more shares of the companies that I love at a better price, and in turn received more in dividends for every dollar that I invest. So not too upset with it going down in value. I'm just going to continue to invest in this portfolio dollar cost average, and I think I will do pretty well over the long term. So here you all can see, so since I started this portfolio, I have earned $17 in dividends. This number has been growing a lot faster lately, which I'm really excited to see. I can't wait for these dividend payments to get larger and larger and just receive more and more income. That was the whole goal of this portfolio, and it's nice to see that it is slowly but surely growing. So I'll show you all the dividends that I've received over this past week or so. So on February 20th, I received a 9-cent dividend from Caterpillar and a 9-cent dividend from Paychex. I invested $20 on, I invested $100 on February 20th. On the 21st, I received a 38-cent dividend from GEO. I also own them in Robinhood. They were the stock that I was talking about, jumped up like 10% today. I also invested some more money on February 26th. These 2 days were both days right after the market had dropped a significant amount, so I wanted to take advantage of the lower prices while I could. On the 27th, I received 2 dividends from Capitala Finance Corporation. On the 28th, I received an 8-cent dividend from Chatham Lodging Trust and a 8-cent dividend from Citigroup. I also received a 7-cent dividend from Gladstone Investment Trust, Gladstone Land Corporation, a 5-cent dividend from LTC Properties, and then 19 cents from Simon Property Group, and 13 cents from Welltower. So I've said this before, but when I first started this portfolio, most of my dividends that I was receiving were around like 3 or 4 cents, and it's nice to see some up in the teens and some like 7 and 8 cent dividends. Very happy to just see that payment grow over time. I am not worried at all about the value of my portfolio. I know it's gone down 4.4%, but these companies that I picked out for this portfolio, I really think are good, solid companies, and I'm happy to continue to invest in them in the long term and receive those growing dividend payments from them. So with that, I think I'm going to wrap up today's video. I appreciate you all watching the video. Please hit that like button if you've enjoyed it. Please subscribe to the channel so you all can see my future videos. I usually try to do a Robinhood and M1 Finance portfolio update video every week. And then another good idea is go ahead and hit that little bell down there so you will be notified every time I post a video. With that, I'm going to wrap up the video. So thanks again for watching, and JGraph out.